TomiToma is down to 35 victory points. The whole harassment game, the pressure that was put on by Seb, has forced a VP situation that is not good at all for him. And that is going to play a significant role in how these games unfold, because even if it goes into late game, the American player still has the chance to win it, because he just has to put some more pressure on VPs. They're just 35 that need to go down. Stu on the field, the calling of the Blitzkrieg doctrine. Is it gonna be enough against those rifleman squads? Still, it's a double-edged sword. Sometimes it really hits right on and destroys any infantry that may be around that artillery shell that it fires, but that artillery is that shell is quite slow. Infantry can move out of it, at least in mid to long ranges, and well, we'll see how it turns out. However, in the meantime, one of the M10s goes down to the fire. I think it was the Stag. Yeah, it was the Stag. But of course, the stormtroopers helped. The two riflemen approaching from the east, maybe they're trying to... No, they won't use a sticky against the Stu, they just retreat right away. Seb doesn't want to take any more losses on his riflemen, although he is not striving for manpower. He has his level 1 upgrade on the supply depot. His manpower income is just fine, and I guess the game he's gonna play from now on will be to... Maybe he wants to deal with the stormtroopers, maybe he'll try to focus them down. I don't think he's too much worried about the Stu that was on the field. And as we see... Wow, what the hell was that? Wow, that's a full squad of riflemen just went down near the central victory point after they took a bundle nade from the stormtroopers as well as a hit from the Stu. And that is a win for the Wehrmacht player. I'm sure about that. Wow, 3 rifleman squads now out on the field for Seb, and are the tables turning? Maybe. Veterans level 1 full Wehrmacht tanks as well, and an MG42 that tries to guard the southwest victory point, and this annoying M10 once again tries to hunt down some Volks as well as the MG, most probably backed up by a Vet2 rifleman squad. So this time around, however, they do throw a sticky on this Stug. Most probably are going to slow it down significantly. Won't be able to chase the perfect engine health M10. However, those stormtroopers nearby are going to be a pain to deal with. And the same goes for the stormtroopers equipped with MP44s that took on a Vet1 rifleman squad as well as some minesweeper equipped engineers in near the central victory point. TomiToma tries as hard as he can to hold down on those 2 victory points, because we all realize how essential that is if he wants to stay in the game. On-map Howitzer previously opened fire on the position of the MG42 as well as the Stag near the southwest victory point, forced the retreat of the MG42, didn't do that much damage on the Stag. Stag is getting repaired by some pioneers, and still no support bangers out by TomiToma. He seems to have forgone this choice long ago. He's just gonna play with straight up with infantry and tanks, and is gonna run around repairing, and he's not gonna get back the infantry losses that he takes. All I'm saying is that he uses no med bunkers, no repair bunkers, no nothing. And now that's a significant loss for TomiToma. The MP44 4 equipped Stormtrooper squad goes down. The Star takes some. What the hell was that? Oh yeah, that was the Stew firing on the Vet 2 Rifleman squad, causing significant damage, forcing a retreat. M10 goes down, and we have a Tigger on the field. A Tigger on the field that has now Veterans level 2, and given this position, I would say I would bet my money on TomiToma, unless, of course, those VPs, unless he doesn't pay attention to the VPs. But he seems to be really, to be really. What is the word I'm trying to find? To be really aware of the situation. The MG42 is still there guarding the southwest victory point. The bunch of his forces are near the middle guarding that victory point, and of course he tries to push as much as he can towards the other regions of the map. Vet 2 Tigger meets 2 Vet 2 Riflemen, and that Vet 1 Rifleman in the west, in the southwest, threw a grenade, most probably on the MG42, forced it to retreat, will most probably proceed to decap that victory point and put that all-important pressure onto TomiToma. Quite a few manpower floating for our American player, as well as fuel and munitions, and he has his. No, he doesn't have his level 2 up on his supply depot. Maybe he's saving for an off-map combat group, and most probably he will use it. An exchange of victory point situation, Seb taking the southwest, Condador taking the north. The northeast, essentially resulting in the loss of 1 victory point total for TomiToma. And his forces on the field do not seem to be changing much, although he has replenished his second Stormtrooper squad. Most probably he's gonna get again MP44 on them. 1 Stag, 1 Stew, Tigger, 2 Storms, an MG42, some Volks, and some Pioneers. That's all. And now the off-map combat group makes an appearance. It's a rather not so good off-map combat group. I can't say all these things. I'll just call it OFMG. No, OF. What am I saying? OMCG. No, it's not. OMCG. Anyway, back into the game. Rifleman trying to sticky the Tigger to death, followed by an M10 that was trying to do I don't know exactly what, and backed up by that all-important AT gun that came with the off-map combat group, taking on the Tigger, bringing it down to half health, but having to retreat after all that mayhem that ensued. M8 still taking damage from the Stug and the Stew. Stew trying to fire, taking some shots from the AT gun. Most probably, in the meantime, some AP rounds were popped by that AT gun. Pioneers doing the repair dance, trying to catch up with a Tigger that is now retreating back towards the Wehrmacht base. Quite strangely, the M8 is still alive, and those riflemen really didn't use their time in the base to heal up, because they really want to put that pressure on the Wehrmacht player. However, Stormtroopers are still around, the Stug is still around with full health, the Stew may not be such effective as TomiToma would like because of its low health. Tigger is getting repaired, some more Pioneers on the field are gonna greatly help on repairing all that German armor. Victory point situation still the same for TomiToma at 34 victory points, now closing at the 33-minute mark, currently at the 32:58, 59, 33-minute mark, and that AT gun needs to be preserved by the American player, because actually now it's the only effective AT he has, along with, of course, the sticky bombs. And M10s he may build, but he is not building any. M2 getting repaired, takes a shot at the AT gun, destroys the AT gun. M8 trying to make M8 trying to make an appearance there, trying to put the pressure on the repairing pioneers. Is he gonna lay a mine? No, he's gonna circle strafe. The Tiger's not gonna work. It's firing point blank in front of his hull. Does not do much. One pioneer is going down. M8's gonna go down to the fire of the Stag and the Tiger, as well as with the help of the Stew. American player has to retreat. Now his forces are mainly riflemen, are mainly infantry. He seems to have stopped building any more M10s, and he most probably is going to use his off-map combat group as from now on. And it may work. It may actually work, because even if he doesn't get his M10, he's gonna get that all important infantry squads, some of them, or even some support weapon support teams, which is that they're gonna greatly help in putting the nail in the coffin and putting in spreading all over the map in such a way that the Wehrmacht infantry won't be able to respond to a VP pressure, which actually is pretty much true. The only infantry that can actually stand up to those riflemen that, by the way, have VET 3, VET 1, VET 2, and are roaming the field are, of course, the MP44 equipped stormtroopers. And if that doesn't work, the armor is not able to cap points. I have been saying it in many casts. So eventually you need to have a good and healthy mixture of infantry and armor. And at this point, the main strength of the Wehrmacht player is his armor, but what he most probably needs more is the infantry in order to stand up to those riflemen. Wow. Second off-map combat group on the field, this time with an M10, an AT gun, another rifleman squad, and an HMG team, which is pretty nice. The two riflemen to the southwest have managed to gain control of the victory point, and most probably, if Seb pays some attention, he's most probably gonna take control of the northeast victory point as well, while the VET 3 riflemen mow down some more pioneers. Now the 4 pioneers for TomiToma have come down to 2. That's gonna significantly hinder his ability to repair his tanks. Now the M10 seems to be violently moving forward, trying to take on the VET 3 Stug with the help of the AT gun. Manages to do so, however the shot from the Stew takes out the M10. Some more pioneers are gonna go down, and now TomiToma has no pioneers on the field. The 5 rifleman squads, the ones on the field, the 3 that had survived the initial build by Seb, as well as the 2 that came with those 2 off-map combat groups, seem to be more than enough in order to take on the Wehrmacht infantry. Tactical map flashing all around, because both players are cut off from the resource, I would say. AT gun opening fire on the VET 3 Tiger, as well as on the Stew with 32 infantry kills. Not bad at all. And some more riflemen, VET 2 riflemen, this time trying to dig up the central victory point with support of smoke by the mortar. Very nice move by Seb. That smoke is gonna give them what they need, that extra few seconds that they need to dig up the victory point. However, TomiToma is around, throws a battle nade, forces the retreat, and consequently tries to cap the victory point. MB44 equipped storms take on the HMG team as well as most probably the AT gun. That was VET1, but he's gonna lose it now that it dies. Frantically, engineers try to dig up the victory point, go down once again to the stew. No engineers on the field for the American player right now, just 5 Rifleman squads and a mortar, taking on 2 storms, actually 3 storm squads, 2 pioneers, 1 Volks, 1 Tiger, 1 stew, once again mortar, VET3 riflemen on the field, trying to throw a sticky on the Tiger. It's not gonna happen. The stew moves in, tries to dislodge them, takes a sticky instead. Wow, that damage was very, very damn much. A VET3 stew just fell like 40% health just from 1 sticky from a VET3 rifleman squad. 2 more rifleman squads approaching the Tiger as well as the stew. Most probably he's gonna stick the stew on the ass again, and this time it's not gonna work. The sticky was faulty, does not even explode, does no damage. But the AT gun most probably will take the kill in place of those riflemen and the sticky that it didn't. The second VET3 rifleman squads on the field for Seb at the moment, and at this time I think TomiToma did whatever he could. He tried to hold on the VPs for as long as he could, but as I was saying, tanks cannot really cap. Now he starts spamming stormtroopers, but I don't think they're gonna be enough. The VET has kicked in for the American player, 2 VET3, 1 VET2, and 2 more with no veterancy, but still able to throw nades, able to use suppressive fire, and as I was saying that a VET2, a VET3 I think, a rifleman squad just went down near the central victory point to storm stormtroopers that seemed to be on a rampage, approach the AT gun, throw a bundle nade, destroy the AT gun. TomiToma tries to keep his Tiger alive and use it as best as he can in order to inflict some infantry casualties on the American player, but those rifleman horde is approaching and is really threatening. Drives off some stormtroopers, does not focus the ones capping the victory point for some reason, but maybe it's because TomiToma, Seb realizes that he's gonna be okay with that veterancy that he has gained, but he needs to be a little bit careful. More stormtroopers, more battle nades. Wow, 3 men die from the battle nade, 2 die from this Tiger fire. Tiger that is barely moving with his engine, nearly destroyed. And the single man rifleman is gonna try to decap and even cap the central victory point, and it seems to be successful at doing so. Because the Tiger was not only out of range, but it was actually killed by the... Let's wait for confirmation, because I think the Tiger was killed by the mortar. It's gonna spin around the Tiger before it dies, and yes, it dies, and it wasn't killed by the mortar. Hooray for that. And what was it killed by? The Tiger? Maybe. I'm not sure. I'll probably catch it when I record this game. But let's go back to the VP situation. 22 for TomiToma, 253 for Seb, 4 stormtroopers on the field, some of them with no weapon upgrades, some others with. Actually, 2 of them have no upgrades, the other 2 are split between MB44s and Panzerschrecks. Riflemen once again approaching the stormtroopers, opening fire on them. VET3 has to retreat in the face of those 2 stormtroopers. Smoke being fired in the central victory point will give those riflemen the time they need to decap it, while yet another rifleman squad moves to the southwest victory point, most probably cap it, and now the game is most probably over. Seb even has the manpower necessary to call yet another off-map combat group, and the only thing that TomiToma has is the veterancy that he has used up, that he has researched actually, on his infantry and tanks, but he has only storms and no tanks. And he seems to be continuing with that storm spam that he started sometime earlier, but that's not going to be enough because Seb got all 3 victory points and managed to end the game while he was calling in yet another off-map combat group, this time I think better than the previous ones, with 2 riflemen and 2 rifleman squads and 2 AT guns. So that is all. What can I say about this game? Well, I think at some point that Seb, I think you overinvested in that tier 1 for no reason. I mean, he could have capitalized on it, seeing no grenadiers, no nothing, going for an M8 early on, and that would really kill the Vermouth player, TomiToma, much earlier, I think. He stayed in tier 1 for just too long, in my opinion, with those, the Jeep, with 4 rifleman squads, with grenades, with bars. Was that really all necessary? There was not that much of an extensive tier 1 by TomiToma or an indication of anti-bar orientation with lots of MG42s. He just went, for some standard bike, 2 MGs, a Volks, and a sniper. A sniper that was really not that effective at all because he just got 5 kills and then he died to the Jeep or something. No, it was the Jeep, yeah. So I think he gave TomiToma a lot of leeway into going into a game of letting him, tech up, get some veterancy, get some Pumas. He wasn't really that much of careful with his M10s, but the combination of his artillery barrages and M10 attacks was really good because that Sturm armory that went down, as well as the two stags, was really painful for TomiToma, that then just fell back to storms. And as we see, eventually storms, well, they are going to be somewhat good with the combination of the Bandlenade, but they need that veterancy in order to be effective against those riflemen. And even with veterancy, vetted riflemen are still better than storms head on. And that's how it goes. Plus the fact that you can't really push that match with only a handful of tanks and nothing to cap with, because at some point the infantry force of TomiToma was just a couple of storms and pioneers, and the rest was his tanks, while Seb had like 6 or 5 riflemen on the field, engineers, the mortar, the MG teams, and of course the AT guns. So all in all, a different game. I don't know if it is the kind of game that we will be seeing in the beta tournament that's coming up, because I don't think either player played in a way that could indicate I play to win games, because the pressure was kind of off. The taking choices and the amount of time that was spent in tiers and the amount of upgrades that were gotten now might not be in accordance with the state of the game at the time they were gotten, but still, I think it was a nice game. I hope you enjoyed it. As I said, there is an upcoming Command of Heroes beta tournament by Game Replayers. I'll put the link to sign up in the description. It's a 64-slot tournament. There are slots open. I even may sign up. I haven't decided yet. Most probably I will, but we'll see. And yeah, that's all for today. And have a nice week, and we'll be seeing you shortly. Adam and KG out.